I love it. Hello, Margaret and Nina. Thank you so much for coming on the Make Life Rich movement. How are you guys doing today?
Hi,
Doing good.
doing good, doing good.
So, guys, they're sisters. I can already tell this conversation is going to be incredible, and they've got a lot to share today. And I am so excited to learn all the ins and outs of what led you guys to creating the Oh My Goodness Children's Wellness Center and Organic Cafe. I would love to know a little bit about each of your backgrounds first, and then I'd love to hear about how the cafe came to be.
Yeah, you want to start?
Sure.
Go for it.
So my background is in education. I have multiple degrees in education, elementary education, early childhood education, and I was just about to finish a degree in TESOL. And then we opened up, oh my goodness, after that. So I didn't get to finish it, but that's okay.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
You sound ready to go at least to deal with well, we'll get into your curriculum. You guys have so it's literally this interview is going to be chock full of so many questions because I am just you provide such a robust amount of things in just one space. So, so excited. Okay. And I would love to hear Margaret about your background and how this came to be.
So, like Nina, I'm in education as well. I taught for 8 years. I was a dean in a high school, inner city, New York. Midway through, so that was 8 years, right? Midway through, though, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. As a result, I sort of transformed my life in terms of like diet and just essentially my life mission became trying to take care of myself and survive in a way that I felt like I didn't fit in a contemporary medicine world. Yeah, so I quickly left my job after 8 years to serve a better purpose.
Love it. And serving a better purpose, you guys certainly are. I came across your profile on Instagram after just trying to Google some different things that I could give my nephew, who is now 2. And I just get so sickened by what I see on the labels of all these kids' products, especially food products that are being like donned as healthy or something they can drink every day without any kind of consequence. And I came across your cocoa reishi mix and I was like, whoa, what is this? First of all, which led me to then your account. I stalked every square inch of it and I was like, holy moly, we need something like this all over the country because I've got tons of mom friends and they really complain about having a place that's healthy and safe for their kids, made, stylistically for their children so they're not worrying about them cracking their head on a beautiful marble table that you place your iced coffee on. But I just love that you guys thought, it seems like you've thought about every single turn to the space and what's in it. So could you walk us through what exactly the Oh My Goodness Cafe looks like in wellness space when you walk in? What is a mom going to see the minute she steps through your door?
Well, basically, I would say walking into Oh My Goodness is like walking into a place where you feel comfortable with anything and everything that's in there in regards to, food that your child is eating. Like, have you ever walked into a place and been like, not have had to look at ingredients
Oh,
or
put
not
that
have
down.
had
Don't
to?
touch that.
Are you like,
It's not
no?
for you. Or like, that's not good for you. We're gonna eat home.
Yeah.
Yes.
So in Oh My Goodness, you don't have to look at labels.
I do it.
You could do it regardless. You could do it
That's
regardless.
Pre-screened.
right. It's stamped with approval.
You don't have to look at ingredients. You know that everything you're getting there is organic. You know that everything you're getting there for your kid, for yourself, is going to be good for you. You don't have to worry and stress about what is my kid going to eat? What am I going to eat? Like, all of our options there are good for everyone, good for the family. So that's one super important and thoughtful concept or aspect of the business that we definitely wanted for families. So
I
yeah.
love that. And it definitely looks like also a safe space for a child to kind of run amok in while mom relaxes for a little while and maybe, just selfishly get some scrolls in without worrying her child's going to get hurt or, they're going to bother a family with another kid that doesn't want to play. It looks like a very inviting space for a mom to relax, a child to be able to play freely without, oh, come here, honey. Like, that's not what this place is for. It seems like it's a really beautiful space for a kid to be a kid and not have to be restrained because they're in public, which seems to be the norm now that I have my nephew with me. Sometimes it's definitely interesting how few places there are where a child can be a child in public.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole idea, right? You're my I love coffee. I love to drink coffee, and I mean, if I could do multiple with my condition, I can't. But when my little guy, he was little. I like two. I think we the concept came about when he was like one, where I would go to places selfishly and have a cup of coffee, and he'd have to sit there and watch me drink my coffee while I'm like mingling or just like, you know, people watching and stuff like that. And it was like culturally inappropriate to ask him to, you know, stay seated and to do what I asked him to do. Right. And I was saying to myself, like, man, like if only there was a place that I can go, even just like where, you know, he could just run around and there's no rules. There's really no rules. And so we reiterate that. Like there's sometimes parents are like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why they're acting this way. And I look at them like this is their kid.
It's
like
a place for
this is you're allowed to this of all places in all of the world is where they're allowed to do this. Like they can be this, you know, make a mess. That's my job. I clean up. You know, talk to your kid however which way you want to talk to your kid. There's you know, the sky's the limit in terms of what kind of parent you want to be and what kind of child your child is, and to do whatever they feel like they need to do. Yeah, it's definitely all everything goes kind of place.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm a crier, guys. You've already got me going. I think it's very beautiful to be living in a time where such tiny people's feelings are considered, to the point of a whole space being structured around it that isn't a preschool, you know?
Yeah.
It seems very much like a missed business opportunity from my viewpoint. There's so many parents out there that are thinking differently and wanting to do things differently, but really lacking the space in which to do so. So I
Yeah.
can only imagine where you can take, oh my goodness, because there are so many people, especially, you know, the more that you guys get out there, they're going to be like, wait, where is this? Do you want to open one in California? How about Florida? Philly? Anywhere? The Hamptons? Help
We're
us.
ready.
Like,
We're ready to go. I mean, this is essentially the goal, right? Leaving, working for the DOE, my sister too. We had insurance. We had like obviously working for the city. It's kind of like, okay, this is our 9 to 5. We are set, right? I had my summers off, right? What is the sacrifice or what is the exchange that was taking place? It's like, okay, there's something more to life than what it is we're doing in our 9 to 5. And if I'm a good worker now, I'll be an even better worker later. But it had to be set in stone, right? Like I wasn't, the plan for opening up wasn't just to open up one. I wouldn't do it. I refused. Because the mission is much greater, because the goal for a better future for our children is not just limited to one community, right? So between the powders that we created, the adaptogen powders that we created, obviously, as long as we're able to branch out, you could bring, oh my goodness, to your home. I refused to open up a store without the powders, right? So they came together. And then the entire branding, the mindset was, no, this is going to be more than one. This is going to be more than two. In fact, many people that we talk to like say that they envision hundreds of them all throughout the United States, because they're just, you know, a community space where it's safe to talk about, hey, you really should like this is a better product to give your kids without anybody feeling like you're you know, harassing somebody or don't tell me what to do as a mom kind of thing. No, we're just offering like, this is a safe space. This is a safe space. We have everything that we know scientifically is okay for your child, right? And nobody judges you for goldfish. It is what it is, right? We all live with it. We sit with it, but we know better. So know better, do better, practice as much as we can, and that's where the yoga, meditation, breath work, right? We try to push the agenda as much as possible for the little ones.
I love that. And you guys are doing it. I keep saying I love that, but I'm literally obsessed with this concept and the fact that you guys are sisters and you're doing it together. That must be a dream in itself. But
Oh,
I would
so
love,
it's a dream.
right. Like my sister and I can get a little tussle in there, but something like this, you know, like especially if it would be helping my niece and nephew and giving them a community. And it's just the world doesn't support mothers and young children enough, doesn't give them enough of a time and a space to just exist as a co-unit. such a beautiful co-unit that gets, I feel, broken up or disenfranchised very quickly. And I've been doing a lot of work on the mother wound, and I think it's just so interesting the way that society has been set up to almost belittle this beautiful time in a woman and a child's life that seems to be rushed along or just completely shit on, to be honest. It's hard to see now, seeing that my sister and my niece and nephew are in this space. And I remember being a teen and being like, damn kid crying in the restaurant. And now it's like, well, you know what? Like, they're allowed to cry. They're a human. They can do whatever they want to do and feel whatever they want to feel. And I did that when I was younger, but we definitely have a lot of work to do on creating these spaces where children can be children, and it is a safe space for them to both just act and not be judged, as well as, be safe in a space to where they know that, like, the mother can breathe a sigh of relief, the door's being watched like a hawk, no one's getting in and out, there's no allergies on the space. Like, all of these things are just overlooked, especially in a business capacity. So I applaud you guys for doing this, and I do see and believe very much in your mission, and it's a huge one, like, internationally. Like, nail down the US and keep it going, ladies, because it's needed. It's needed everywhere. It's
Thank you.
insane.
Thank you.
I would love to know about what the transition was like for each of you from a very stable job of being an educator, a 9 to 5, to an entrepreneur with such a large mission. What did that feel like for you guys? And what was that transition like from the stability and the comfort to this passion project being your pure mission?
It's definitely been super challenging, especially because when we actually first opened up our first location, we opened
February 24th, 2020.
like a month before COVID happened.
3 weeks before COVID happened.
Okay.
This is quitting a full-time secure job February 1st, 2020.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay, so let's
And
get
knowing
into the
nothing
nitty
about
gritty of
running a
that.
business, mind you. Nina, did you know
Right.
anything about running a business?
Nope.
Nothing. We took no classes. We
Right.
took no, just like, Nina, we found a spot. We're doing it right
Let's
now.
do
This
it.
is, I think,
And I'm
literally.
like, okay, Margaret, sure.
Oh,
And
wow. Okay.
it turns out, I mean, 3 years. And I think I just sit around and I walk around and I'm like, hey guys, how's it going? Business is going good. Woo woo. Okay, good. Yeah, let's expand. I got this idea. Nina, you want to hear it? She usually says no. And Nina is the backbone so from somebody who didn't know anything about running a business to becoming somebody who can not only manage one store, but manage 2 stores simultaneously. It's unreal. It's unreal what women could do, what people can do. So there were these challenges. COVID for about 1.5 years really messed with us.
Mhm.
But I think we learned how to be an entrepreneur. We learned how to sell what we needed to sell. What would you remember what we were selling in the beginning?
Coffee to
Coffee, like
individual customers.
one
Like,
cup of
just-
coffee a day for like 3 months.
Yeah.
1 cup of coffee a day for like 3 months.
Yeah. So
And our guy, he never gave us a break in terms of rent.
yeah. So whilst mostly all of America and everywhere was closed, me and Margaret would go to the store every day for a few hours a day, just like waiting for that one customer to come and kind of like planning, like, okay, what are we going to do? We need to do something. How are we going to do this?
We did like to-go packages. We did like face mask making kits because we're all about the natural thing. So like we would have parents like purchase like these little kits that had like the clay in it with a bunch of other ingredients with a little like information card, and they would go and they would post about us.
We also when they were allowed to come in, but like there were super strict restrictions, we came up with the idea of a private play session, which was super beneficial to us too. Just having families come on their own by themselves, the only ones in the cafe, and come for an hour of play.
It was like they were so isolated where we would literally come for that hour, unlock the door. We would wear a mask. One person would be like, so my sister or myself would be in the cafe, like in the like cafe box. We would let them know we're not leaving, but you have to guarantee us that everybody who's playing inside of that play space, that you are all quarantining together. So no grandmothers from other houses or anything like that. Like it had to be just like, and this was just an out for the neighborhood, and the neighborhood really
Yeah.
appreciated that.
Mhm.
Wow.
And it was,
Okay.
we never upcharged. It was $25 the hour for the
Oh my
family.
gosh. But you know what? There's so many things I want to pull from this quickly, and then I'd love to keep going on this. But for those of you listening, they mastered immediately the art of the pivot. And as an entrepreneur, you better call your middle name Pivot Patty, because if you don't figure out how to fix something that is broken or has deviated from your plan, you are DOA. And to do so during a global pandemic, the first of, I mean, anyone alive right now has never dealt with anything like that before, and it caused so much uncertainty. But to be able to still stay scrappy while still providing for their community, that's an A plus mission for me right there. Like that definitely, I would imagine, solidified you having a very loyal audience upon return to normalcy when you were able to open in that original, ideation of what you had envisioned for yourselves.
Yeah. I mean, we always say that the original customers of Garden City, the first location that we had, were like family. Like that space will forever feel like home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It's amazing.
beautiful.
Yeah. And it's such a tiny space, it's just, it makes you always feel good when you go inside.
Oh, I love that. When did the adaptogen mixes come into play? Can you talk a little bit about formulating and packaging your own products? Because that in itself is an entire separate business that is a very deep struggle for many people. And you've been able to create very unique, very clean products for children that after about 20 minutes of Google searching, I stopped trying because I just couldn't locate anything comparable to what you're doing. So for me, you are groundbreaking in this
Thanks. Let's get
industry.
chills. That's cool. Okay.
Dude, for real. Like I'm flying the fan flag for forever. I like kudos to Lauren, I'm assuming is your publicist, right? She's
Yes. Amazing.
got a fun project on her hands and you guys are
Yeah.
just getting started. So let's talk about the product. What was that like in packaging, development? How did you guys come up with the flavors? I want to know everything.
You ready?
I'm
Okay.
ready.
With the concept of the business, I knew again that I wasn't going to get anywhere unless I had a product that people can take home, right? More than just what them coming to me, I needed to go to them. At that time, my son was 3 years old, 2.5, when I was first diagnosed, and he didn't take well to not eating chicken nuggets anymore. My entire life transformed, and so did his, and so did my husband's. And so,
So did mine.
Yeah, everybody in my household bought different eggs, ate different food. The entire transition took place like rapidly. So from the second that I was diagnosed, that day I went through my pantry and I said no. And it came from understanding that certain diets could alter the brains of children with autism 2 weeks prior. So after seeing this video, I said to myself, if food can do this, then what the hell am I doing? And why is this happening inside of my body? And instantly I eliminated sugar from my diet from the day of diagnosis. Instantly. We went to dinner the night I was diagnosed and I looked at watermelon, and I mean, there's arguments back and forth, whatever. I'm not to say that watermelon's not good. Of course, it's delicious, it's amazing, and it has nutritious value. But for me at that moment, I looked at you and I looked at the bread at the dinner table and I said, I'm not doing this. Mm-hmm. And I stopped. Like, that's how dramatic it was, my life change. Mm-hmm. But also, like I said, for my son and for my husband, and my son did not take well to like the goldfish, no goldfish, no chicken nuggets, no mac and cheese, no, because these are the easy go-to things for your household, working mom, 9 to 5, like, well, how am I going to provide like all these things, or what kind of lunch am I going to give them, So I said I needed to do something, that I needed to create something, but there was no way that I was going to make something that wasn't fun or engaging or so the products that we create, not only do they taste good, right, with all the hidden ingredients that are inside, such as reishi, spirulina, astragalus, goji, collagen, lion's mane, all of these really beneficial ingredients, with high nutritious value, and immune boosting properties. I got to make it look good, right? Yeah. No kid's going to go to a supermarket and pull something that's brown off of a shelf because it has a leaf on it. Like, they're going to go, my son didn't know what Trix was or what Lucky Charms was, but when we're going through the supermarket, he's like, I want that. And there's a reason for that. And that pissed me off so much. So inside of my house, I sat there to mix all these things. To this day, my son will not want to try cotton candy, even though that's our best selling smoothie and powder. And the reason is because he was my test dummy. So all of the nasty flavors that I would sit there, okay, try this. Okay, try this. Okay, try this. To this day, he'll do bubblegum all day long. He'll do chocolate all day long. Ask him to have cotton candy. He's like, ah! Because he was the person that tried all of the failures before the good one came out.
I love that.
So in a nutshell, that's how it sort of came to be. I was really angry with the system. And I decided to create something that I know kids would pull off of a shelf, but also like to, because the powder itself, you could add to anything. When we originally created, like, I knew our menu had to incorporate them. I knew we had to be able to sell them either in jars or packaging. And all throughout the first, I turned, the cancer turned to stage 4 when I got pregnant with my second son in the first year of operating the business, of opening and operating the business. So he was a COVID baby. And then I developed stage 4 cancer. And I would go to Arizona for treatment. Thankfully, I had a friend there who was familiar with, these manufacturing companies. I said, I have this product. And if I tell you that things sort of just fell on our lap and made sense when it happened, he's like, come with me to this factory. And I was like, okay. And I have pictures of us at this factory. And this is like while I'm in treatment in Arizona, right? So this is not a vacation. This is not like, hey, me doing this is things falling on my lap. Within 2 or 3 months, we had it was on the production line and we had the products ready for selling. Yeah.
I'm crying again, y'all. Okay, so just sheer discretion. My father had cancer. He got diagnosed when I was 12, had it for about 22 years, and passed away 4 years ago. And I had no concept, neither did he at the time, about food and how it could change. And then he eventually switched over to an all food, feeding tube liquid diet, which was also a ton of disgusting chemicals. Like, I would have been better off, much better off, mixing up all of your powders
Bone
and
broth.
him drinking that. But it was very, I understand completely in you saying that you flipped the switch and changed every single thing going into your body. And I find it so incredibly beautiful that the universe gave you this thing that will save your son, in essence, from meeting your fate of health, and did so during a very scary time for you. You're in your health, like, time frame. That's not lost on me. I find that to be very beautiful, and the universe threw you such a solid that is not only going to help your child, but help every child that gets their hands on it and starts asking their mom for it.
Ooh, I'll go cry too.
Dude, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I'm going to force my sister to let my nephew try. It's difficult to help a parent understand if they don't already have that connection to food and its repercussions or its benefits. Flip
Yeah.
the scale either way.
The cool thing about the business is that when, we open our doors, obviously, to everybody, people who understand us and don't understand us, and they come in and they walk out with this much knowledge. Even if they walk out with a cotton candy smoothie, that's a win, because that child is walking out loving spirulina.
Yeah.
That's a win.
Yeah.
Right? That one little step healthier, because if they do love it, they're coming back for another smoothie. I really want to look at like how many smoothies we sold in 3 years. And then
That would be a fun marketing fact to just toss
right?
around. Be like, here you go.
You can figure it out. She'll figure it out. We'll do it. See what I'm saying? Nina makes things happen.
I love it. You're the A and the B, the yin and the yang. It's beautiful. How does your partnership work? How has it changed your relationship as sisters? Like, what has that been like? I'm sure it looks as though you're very tight and it's brought you close together, but your mission too has to really just sprinkle a little something extra on your relationship and your friendship. So what has it been like to work together?
I'll let her answer that.
It's been good. I would definitely say that we wouldn't be in the situation we are now without Margaret, because she is really just the idea maker, the innovator, the go-getter. She has the best ideas out of anybody I've ever met in the whole entire world. She does. She has the best ideas.
Nina,
You do.
this
You got
isn't
the
like a
best
compliment
ideas.
my sister day.
I mean, I'm not lying. You do. She has
Thank
the
you.
best ideas, the most creative and innovative ideas ever. And for me, I'm more just like, yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do it. Or I don't know about that idea. Let's not do it. I don't know. I think I'm just like the follow througher, I guess you could say. Just,
Yeah. And
helping our ideas to
I
come to
liked
life,
the
really.
analogy that I use always is I'm the kite, right? Like I'm the thing that's in the air. And I mean, if it wasn't for Nina, I'd be long gone. Like I'd be
Yeah.
gone. And Nina just holds it down. Like a lot of wind comes and Nina's like, I got you, Margaret. You're not going anywhere, Um, but yeah, I think we hated each other growing up. And
All
then
sisters do. My sister and I as well. I didn't like her until she had children. So
at
there's
like
that.
18 years old, she became my friend. And then
18?
yeah, I was like 18. I think like 21.
Maybe when you got married.
Oh God.
Same,
And then
same guys,
when
same.
I
No
had
shade,
kids,
no shade.
yeah, and then when I had kids, it was like I'm not the best friend anymore. It's like my kids are the best friend. Forget it. But I think that I really commend honestly like my parents who like put the value in us sticking together no matter what. Like if we would not get along with this business, which numerous times we don't get along, like there's not like I can't deal with you, we walk away, stuff like that. If we knew that it would interrupt our business, we're done. I'm done. I sell the business. I don't want it. Like this is not, I think it's the mission, our parents, the love, what we have, like how is what really connects us. We know I got goosebumps. We know what we're doing is something really, really good. And we know that if we can get through the hurdles of what we've already gone through with the sickness and her being able to hold down she's held down so far, and moving past all, like we got it. Our dynamic is only just going to get better. And this is the first time in 6 years that I went on vacation, and the first time that we've gone on vacation together for like we were 4 or 5 days, something like that, in like 8 years.
Wow.
More maybe. I think I was like a teenager. We were in Lettuce together. I was like, and I'm 33.
Wow.
So maybe it might have been like over 10 years.
Wow. So you were also able to put together a business that's solid enough within the first 3 years of operating to be able to leave and both leave at the same time,
Yes,
which is
and I
a
don't
difficult thing
recommend
to
it for
achieve.
everyone. I don't recommend it for everyone. It was definitely like sleepless stuff. It was definitely like managers text me.
We got a great team also.
That's amazing. Yeah.
We had a great team.
Shout out to Garden City and Port Washington crew. They are
We got a great team.
honestly, I give them my heart. They're phenomenal. Yeah,
Good
great
people.
just
Good
great people.
Good people. Be a good human.
Yes.
Good humans.
It's important that you be able to find that team that complements your vision and the purpose of what you're doing well. It can't just be a job for something like this, that they have to be committed to your mission and what you guys are working on, because it is so important for sure.
Yeah.
Where do you see, well, actually, let's talk about what's featured in both of these locations. So you are right smack dab towards, I guess you're at the tail end of summer camp now. We're in August recording this. So you've had a summer camp program going. You have programs throughout the week. Guys, you hear that? There's stuff to do on a Tuesday in the morning, okay? How rare would that be? We're not subjected to just music lessons on the weekends. You have programming throughout the week. It seems like most hours of the day there's something going on.
Yep.
And then you
And
also
it's
have
not
things
this
for
open play.
mothers. Yes, the open play session looks super cool. Just letting kids kind of meet inside instead of having to be out on a playground in the middle of the winter because there's nothing else to do, especially in New York. That's probably not the best. Very exciting for them. And then you also have programming for moms only, which I love that you give them that outlet as well. So can you walk us through all the programming and just what activities you have at both of your locations?
Go, Nina.
So we also do educational programs. We have a 3 and 4s program that we do. It is, 3 times a week for 2.5 hours a week. And it's kind of like a mini school. It gets your little one set up and prepared for that next step. And it's definitely like a small group setting, and just goes over similar topics of the concept of, oh my goodness, meaning like wellness is embedded in the curriculum.
Similar to
And
our camp too. It's like that same time period, same amount of days, and we incorporate like nutrition, yoga. They're baking, they're cooking, whole food ingredients. They're trying new things, making gummies and making their own bread. And so again, while we're not solely just cooking and doing that stuff, we're also like making fruit mandalas and like just all of these different. This next week, for example, is all about the human body. So they're going to be learning about the human body in the camp session. Again, similar structure for the school. We are going to be doing aloe and dissecting aloe and talking about how it's good for all the different parts of our body, right? So like from our skin to ingesting in our stomach, and that process of eating, and where does that go and how does it help our intestines, and like that whole process. So there's a wellness platform at the core of everything that we do.
Mhm.
We offer open plays. That's like most of our schedule is open plays. We offer obviously the music classes. We do a ton of birthday parties. In the wintertime, we could do about 10 birthday parties a weekend. Yeah. And we get really, I mean, knock on wood, God bless the world, but we get really, really busy. There's the birthday parties. We do private play sessions. We do stuff like confidence groups for Girl Scouts. Yeah, so we work with other like not-for-profit foundations to bring kids in to teach them about confidence. As little girls, I feel like it's so important. We do one of our favorite classes is messy art, infant messy art, where we use again our powders and other whole food ingredients and kids get babies get like all crazy, roll around on the floor, and before you know it, they're like purple, and we take the cutest pictures, and then they go
I
home with
saw
like,
that on your Instagram. It's
yeah. So that's like that is our day one most popular class. We have a really amazing, it's called the Good Little Learners program. It is 2 days a week. It's like an intro to a drop-off program, which we try to encourage like a wean drop-off. Since we have the cafe, parent stays in for like a mommy and me session for 45 minutes, like for the first month, and then slowly I'm gonna get a cup of coffee, I'm right here, and then over time they just sit in the cafe while their kid is in there learning and participating in classroom instruction. So there's a lot.
wow. So just so I'm hitting all the buttons here. You're helping them with emotional growth. You're helping them with I guess cognitive growth to prepare them from kindergarten. You're helping them with separation anxiety, so psychological growth from their parents, their mother namely. You're providing them with a learning space that they get used to so that learning becomes fun, which is likely to help them for school. You are a dream. You guys are a dream. This is so beautiful. It doesn't escape me that you are literally giving them the platform to learn the healthiest of habits in a very well-rounded manner that doesn't feel like they're being imprinted,
Mhm.
if that makes sense.
I
Like
think it's one
giving
of my
them,
favorite parts because
oh man,
even this past, I was teaching a few of the of our summer camps, and I'm always trying to bring in some sort of yoga. I'm always trying to bring in some sort of breath work, and they love it because they're the puffer pit fish. And they get to squeeze their cheeks and have a deep breath, like things like that are fun. But they know, like if you ask one of those kids now, um, why do we breathe, or how does breathing help us? It makes us feel better. Like I've asked them that question. It makes us feel better. I like to breathe when I'm angry or when I'm sad. It makes me feel better. Like that's just so cool within itself, because like as an adult now, like even like having not grown up in that way or in that sense, like as an adult now I'm trying to understand the concept of breath work and how that helps our bodies,
And
right?
understanding also that these are preventative measures for some serious stuff,
yes.
right? Like at a whole nother level of just saying kumbaya, right? We're talking about or like we're talking about really preventing
Stress
bringing
causes disease.
bringing oxygen into our body, learning how to regulate these things. That is the mission, right? If I knew that as a child I had to detox, for example, my mom knew that giving spirulina would detox me from the chemicals of the garbage that I was eating,
Yeah.
I might not be in this position that I'm in right now. I might
Yeah.
not, right? We know that there are things that we can do as preventative measures. I'm doing that. That was the aha moment. I started realizing after a couple months of being in my own treatment of doing vitamins and participating in other things that were good for me, that were all natural, like changing my diet and doing some yoga, okay, breath work, like, but intense, right? Like, I'm not talking, guys,
Yeah.
like if disclaimer, if you do have some sort of medical illness or something like that, obviously seek attention, and like, you're not just going to eat well and you'll be cured, right? There's a whole step, right? There's a lot more that's embedded, but this is my case scenario. I saw myself being cured of this thing, right? Within 11 months from doing just the right things.
Yeah.
And if I could reverse something like cancer, well, you know what? If I know that this is a cancer cell, and if I'm able to infiltrate it by doing something like eat healthy or bring more oxygen into my body, if I could do that, that's preventative right
Yeah.
there. That's preventative, right?
Yeah.
You're assisting these little kids in saving or preserving their life.
Oh, it's so beautiful. And you're
Sorry, I
also
yell.
giving
I'm
them.
very loud.
No, I love it. I am too, and I'm a crier, so I'm a loud crier, and it's just a lot. I think giving them the neural pathways to already have this be something that they just do, second nature, will also give them the ability in the future to just keep expounding on that and not have it be woo woo mess and, relying on things that are likely fueled by a pharmaceutical company that aren't really the best for you, but they've got the most marketing dollars, so you see it more. It's very special, and I wonder too if in giving out all of this programming, all this education, all these experiences, you're also helping the mothers who did not grow up with that. Our generation did not get this information. And some people, unless they've had something terrible like an illness happen to them or someone very close to them, don't even consider that this is something to think about, let alone be almost the entire focus of your child's earliest years so that you can give them this amazing platform to just keep growing and evolving from without having to really hit the brakes in an emergency scenario in the future and it's all hands on deck when it could have been avoided entirely maybe if this
It doesn't
path was
hurt.
taken.
It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it can't.
It's a harmless adjustment to your life. Harmless. If anything, there's only positive stuff. I mean, the cotton candy blend itself was created for children with ADHD, right? So I had that in mind, right? Detox with the spirulina from whatever is causing brain sort of misfires or something like that, right? For the hyperregulation. But then also lion's mane to combat the brain, right? To allow for greater focus. And so the idea was, and again, harmless.
Yeah.
The idea was give it a try. Once a day, every day, just detox, and give the lion's mane, harmless, completely harmless. And it tastes good and turns things blue.
Which they probably are obsessed with.
Love.
Ask for the blue smoothie every day, I'm sure.
Literally the blue smoothie.
The blue smoothie. I don't know what it's called, the blue. Or then you get the other half of the population that's like, I don't cotton candy. Ugh, that's not good for you. I'm saying to myself, I'm like, you walked into a wellness center. You think I'm gonna sell you cotton candy?
Mhm. This is for your kid. Keep it quiet and buy it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, it is absolutely, I love the tongue-in-cheek aspect of what you're doing because it does give that slight smoke and mirrors appearance for a child that do need to be redirected away from the tastes and the flavors that are so artificial and are not at all found in nature and are very chemically addictive and like all of the things that you don't really think about until you think about it. And then you're like, wait a minute, I've literally been giving my child something that their brain will now crave and will turn their gut biosis against them to continue to crave more things like this to where a mom
Just
is in a chokehold, give me my goldfish. I need my goldfish. And then it's
yeah.
tantrums for days to separate them from that. And, You're
Just
giving
a
them a
small
nice option.
example. My child, we're going away on vacation to Europe. My older one, did not. He was throwing out ice cream in Europe. He didn't want it.
Wow.
Like, think about that for a second, right? It's not to say
Yeah.
that the ice cream over there is like way better. It's
Yeah.
not, right? Over there, they like to use colors and stuff like that. Whereas like the gelaterias or whatever. But he was like, this is disgusting. And you even ask him today, he's like, this is the worst they had the worst ice cream.
Wow. So his palate has been completely reconditioned to a natural spectrum, which is really cool.
I mean, in Greece, it was a little bit more of the opposite, where he has like, where are you going to get good ice cream here unless you home make it, right? But like over there, where it's a little bit better, the ice cream over there he's not wanting it because he's so used to the garbage and ice cream here. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah. His brain's like, ew.
Yeah. Well, that's the I'm used to it. I'm addicted to the artificial flavorings and all of these extra things that is United States ice cream. You know?
It's mind blowing. It really is. But
Yeah.
I'm very eager to see where you guys take this. You've already made such an impact in your two different spaces, the communities you've created there. I know for a fact there will be mothers banging down your door the minute you open up some type of, would you like, oh my goodness, to come to your city? Let us know. Like, wow, guys, it's going to be a flood of people just giving you the go ahead. And I can't imagine.
I hope so.
Yeah. Right.
I know so. Okay. There's no way there. And I wouldn't doubt you're going to have investors knocking down your door shortly because our generation is starting to really flip the script on what we want to invest in, the things we want to spend our money on, where we want to spend our time.
This is it.
And
This is
the
essentially
money's going to
this is the most
follow.
important thing that kids can learn. This is the most important thing that families need to adapt to. This is
Yeah.
it.
If you could give a brief synopsis of what your overall, like, 5 year from now, huge vision is for, oh my goodness, where are you ladies taking this next?
I do it. You really want to, again,
I need to hear it.
I rely solely on what I told you before, that whenever I speak to people, they say hundreds throughout the United States. Every community needs, and oh my goodness, whether it's a 500 square foot space of just selling the smoothies and like a little bounce house, or, a more elaborate space, like oh my goodness, and its many forms could exist anywhere. It's that community space. It's that safe space that anybody can go to. Like, I want my kid to have a blue smoothie and to be able, and I want to be able to sit down and like chat on my phone and do a little bit of work while they're, occupying their time and engaging in all things that are good. So I'm nowhere near done leaving this earth. There's nowhere, where the sky's the limit.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, ladies, my final question for my guests is always, how do you make your life rich? So whoever would like to go first.
You can say?
What?
I'm gonna break it down to one thing that happened to me this summer, because I think it's actually it ties in so well. So I had a friend who also had cancer, and we sat together, and I was talking about how much love there is around me, right? And how much I value that, and I see that, especially when I was away on vacation, how much I appreciate all the people that demonstrate their love, right? And he said to me, he goes, and it was a full moon that night. He goes, look at the moon. He goes, see how bright it is? He said, that moon doesn't shine by itself. If the sun didn't exist, that moon would be nothing. And he said that the sun is the love that's around you. The sun is the reason for your brightness. The love is the reason for your brightness. And so I can attribute that to what makes life rich. What makes is the impact that, and the love and the care that gets reverted back from seeing and speaking and donating and offering time and having conversations. That's what makes life rich. I mean, yesterday, not today. Today I spoke to 2 people, but yesterday I spoke to about 3 people who are dealing with serious cancer illnesses, and we were talking about, like, for hours. I was on the phone with them at least 3-4 hours yesterday, and And they're like, Margaret, how do you do it? Like, how do you run these businesses? How do you do what you do? And I say to myself, this is what I do. Like, you're hearing it. I walk into my store and I talk to people and I tell them what the importance is. You know, we teach our employees to show compassion, to show care. And if a kid's crying, explain to them, or, you know, sit down, get on their level, right? It is the love that comes back that makes us rich.
Oh, so beautiful. Nina?
Me? um, I think what makes my life rich is, I guess, similar to what Margaret said. Just being around and having the little genuine happy moments with family and friends, just like those special, intimate, like moments. I think just having those people around you that love you and care for you, family, friends, things like that. Like those are the moments uh, that make life rich. You feel genuinely happy, genuinely good, and those are special. Yeah.
Oh, so beautiful. And it's so beautiful that you both have each other and that this is the circumstance you find yourselves in. And I'm very happy that this was the outcome of something really devastating and could have ruined your life, but it seems like it's helped to really fortify your life and give it a whole lot more purpose. And
Oh, yeah.
that is so beautiful. Ladies, thank you for sharing your business and your story. You got me again. Here I go.
Thanks
Um,
for having us.
it was beautiful, and I cannot wait to see how you change America one location
Oh,
at a time.
I
It's
felt
coming,
like
guys.
chills right here. The chills
I
right here. I felt that it climbed up. And so,
Man, I cannot wait to see it. It's so needed. It's so necessary. Mothers and children need the space. They need a space to feel comfortable to learn about things that are foreign to them. Children deserve a space where they can be themselves authentically, finding autonomy while interacting with others. Your mission is massive, and it's very important for the future of our country and the way in which we interact with each other. And it starts with the babies, and you guys are
yeah,
doing that, and
for
it's
sure.
really beautiful. Thank you so much for coming on. This was a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.